ASAP will now automatically detect and allows you to interactively manage duplicate geometry during the IGES input process. You can also import a wider range of IGES objects. In this particular case, what we have is a file that was created in a CAD program and we've imported over to ASAP. However, sometimes when you're creating geometry within a CAD program, you actually create what the program considers duplicate geometry. These are things like construction lines and construction surfaces that can sometimes be exported as part of your file, and then when you import it into ASAP, you actually have extra surfaces. Let me show you in this case what it would look like. What I'm going to do is select this particular facet of this reflector, and I'm going to hide it from the 3D viewer. And now as we rotate it around, we can see the adjacent surfaces. Now if I select this surface here, what I notice is, both in the flyout as well as in the tree structure, that this is an object that ASAP has given the particular name reflector.ag object. Now what I'm going to do is also hide this surface, and you'll notice when I do that, that it didn't disappear because indeed there is a second surface that is exactly in conflict with that surface, in this case object 0.8, indicated both in the flyout as well as on the tree. Having duplicate geometry like this can cause problems in ASAP in that it's very possible that the same optical properties don't get associated with a surface at the exact same location, and also there can become issues as to exactly which surface the ray intersected. What we'll do now is look at the enhancements in the latest version of ASAP and how we can interactively manage this during our input. So what I'm going to do is just come over to here to File, Open, and I'm going to open up the IGES file for this particular reflector. Click on Open, and I can now select the option Locate Duplicate Geometry, and this will tell me about those surfaces that are duplicated or appear multiple times. So let me just click on OK. And now we have our reflector geometry. It still remembers the material properties I previously provided, but the objects indicated in red are those that ASAP has flagged as being duplicate. So I know this was one, so let me deselect that. And as you can see down here, that surface has been removed, but the duplicate of that is still in place. So again, I still have a complete reflector. And now I can also deselect this item. And again, the duplicate remaining piece is still intact, so I still have my full geometry. So what I have here are the remaining duplicate faces, but their duplicates have been removed. And these simply are indicating that somewhere within these objects were previously duplicated geometry. So again, let me finish this. And I now have my ASAP file. And what I want to do is end this file and then run it. And now let's take a look at the geometry. Okay, now let me blow that up a little bit larger. And we can look at our tree, and you'll notice we now have a reduced number of objects. We don't have that duplicated name up top. And if we rotate this around, we can again look at the geometry. And this time, if I choose to hide this object, it disappears. There's nothing left because the duplicate geometry has been removed. And as you can see from looking through the back, we can now see the bottom. And if I choose to make it visible, it's blocked again. So this is a key capability that will allow you to bring in geometry that might have included with it construction lines and other surfaces, and you can simply remove those within ASAP, and you will still have them available to you if you need to go back into your CAD program to modify the geometry for any reason. As you can see, the feature in ASAP to indicate duplicate geometry is extremely important when you're importing your CAD file. And because you want to do this in most instances, what you'll want to do is probably set this to be your preference. So I'm going under the ASAP File menu, selecting Preferences, and I'm going to go to my CAD Import page. And what my CAD Import page allows me to do is to set my default preferences for each time I open ASAP or try to import an IGES file. So let me click on the checkbox that says Locate Duplicate Geometry and click on OK. And what ASAP is simply indicating is that we always suggest you review your geometry to make sure the file was properly translated. Just click on OK. And now every time I go to open an IGES file, so here's the same reflector, click on Open, you'll notice that the Locate Duplicate Geometry box is automatically checked. Now, this doesn't mean I'm required to delete the duplicate geometry. There might be particular instances where I actually want it in the file, but this ensures that, given the option, ASAP will always be looking for these duplicates.